What's going on, Jerome's? So, your Minnesota Vikings win on the road in division against the Greasy, Grimy Green Bay Packers, 24-10. Just a very casual 2-touchdown win. I'm completely gutted right now, and it did not look good. The Kirk Cousins injury, and everyone and their mom wants to be a Twitter doctor right now, hoping for the best, expecting the worst, prepared for the worst. Everyone knows what that looked like, but we'll see. Just completely numb right now because Kirk Cousins, this year, he'll never get the respect that he deserves, but he's the reason why the Vikings got up off the canvas. He's the reason why the Vikings have been playing so well recently, even without Justin Jefferson. And, there's a lot of Vikings fans that hate on Kirk and never give him the time of day, never give him respect he's deserved. And now they finally got their wish. Now they get to see the Vikings without Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that's rough, man. Ben Dermcline, $2. Whatever Kirk needs, I'll donate. Yeah, so I'm giving up my hamstring and entire foot area to hamstring to JJ, foot area to Kirko. There we go. But the Vikings now at the deadline, they're 4-4, want some more, firmly in the playoff places, firmly in the NFC North division chase, and there's not really a quarterback to be had on the market. And maybe Jacoby Brissett, the backup from the commies, who's been a spot starter around the league, could make sense to back up Hall, but you're not bringing him in to be the starter. And so the Vikings are going to have to rally around Jaron Hall, who, strip sack aside, I put that more on Kevin O'Connell, putting him in just a straight drop back situation on 3rd and 8. But Hall showed some mobility, showed a couple of nice throws. That one toss to Hawkinson on 3rd down was great. So that's where we're at. And, we'll take some time to process this. And it really sucks. Kirk Cousins is one of the toughest dudes in the league. And hopefully it's not what everyone thinks that it was. And hopefully it's not what exactly that looked like. But the Vikings are playing great football right now, and they're doing it without Justin Jefferson, and they'll have to do it without Kirk Cousins potentially. So we'll rally around Jaron Hall and play good football. I'm going to go from there, man. But I don't know, man. This seems like a completely just Pyrrhic victory. Like, I don't think I've ever felt this numb after a Vikings win over the Packers. It's just... It was a completely dominant win, too. Jordan Love is ass. The offense was rolling. And Metellus had that big-time turnover. Jordan Addison proved that he's that dude. But, I don't know. It's just, Kirk's injury completely overshadows it. Especially since, that could be him being gone for the season. And potentially that could have been his last play in a Vikings uniform. Because if it is a season-ending injury and the Vikings go in a different direction, maybe Jaron Hall steps up and shows out. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Will Levis threw 4 freaking touchdowns today. You look at Brock Purdy. You look at Tyson Bagent. Why not Jaron Hall? Zach Carter, $5. Entirely on Kevin O'Connell. Shouldn't be throwing on 3rd and forever in that situation. Inexcusable. Yeah, talking about what happened with Jaron Hall. Yeah. Man. It just really sucks overall. But there were some positives to take away from the game. First off, the Packers are absolute shite, which is great. The Vikings got to 4-4. Wanting some more. 3rd down offense was solid, 10 of 18. 3rd down defense was solid, 5 of 14. Packers are 1 of 4 for 4th down. That's rough, man. 270 yards. Overall, the Flores defense played exceedingly well, and the Vikings dominated time of possession. It's just I mean, Thomas Larson, $5. One more Ryder case. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Because I think Keenum's with the Texans now, right? Yeah, but I do have high hopes for Jaron Hall, and the Vikings and Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, they did hand select him in the third round in day 3 of the draft, and he does have a solid arm. He is mobile. He is accurate. He is mature, a little bit older rookie coming in. He did make Puka Nacua at BYU. So as somber as this moment is, I mean, the season's not over. And no, this is not an excuse for the Vikings. Oh, they should go 4-13. No, it ain't gonna happen, man. This team is too talented. This team is too resilient. And I mean, look what the Vikings have done. They won 3 games in a row without Justin Jefferson, the best non-quarterback in the league. And yeah, what happened with Kirk sucks. It really does. But now, I mean, Kevin O'Connell, the last couple weeks without JJ, has had to show his mettle as a head coach. Now he's going to have to do it even more. And the defense is looking really damn good with Flores. And the Vikings, the offensive line is there. Jaron Hall's got weapons. And hopefully the Vikings can get some sort of a run game going. And it wouldn't be a terrible spot for a rookie quarterback. And I don't see the Vikings trading for a guy who's going to be the starter. I also don't think that Nick Mullins would necessarily be the starter when he comes off an injured reserve in 2 weeks. Derek Baker, $10. Prayers for Cousins. Who is the Vikings' best player this year? Please, no medical who has been the Vikings' best player this year? Please, no medical guessing. Best player this year, Danielle. Although Kirk is certainly up there. Yeah. Darisaw too. Yeah. BLVE, $2 in the super chat. RIP Adam Johnson. Yeah, that's really tragic. Just a freak accident in a hockey game over in England. Adam Johnson, Minnesota guy, UMD, scored his only career NHL goal against the Wild from his hometown, friends and family. And he died. Just really, really sad. Yeah, this has not been a great 24 hours, man. That's not great. But yeah, I do think that it would be the smart move to roll with Jaron Hall. And it accomplishes 2 things. Because, one, I think Jaron Hall does have a higher ceiling than Nick Mullins. I think Mullins is fine as a veteran backup, but I don't think that he's going to be a guy that you trust to take you to the promised land. And the Vikings, they need to see what they have in Jaron Hall. I mean, yeah, he's a rookie 5th-round pick, but Sam Howell was a 5th-round pick, and he's starting this year for the Commies, and he's putting up numbers despite having a garbage offensive line. And with Jaron Hall, I think that this could be a very conducive spot for a young quarterback where you have a solid offensive line, you have 2 great tackles, you have weapons all over the place, and hopefully Kevin O'Connell won't be putting this kid out on an island. I think that was more just in the moment versus if Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips have a catered game plan exactly for Jaron Hall, which they are going to have next week because Nick Mullins can't play it next week. And they better not freaking bring up Mannion. That's all I'm saying. Zach Carter, $5. Do we go all in on someone else if Kirk is hurt bad? I think it's probably the best shot we'd had since clearing the NFC. I don't know if they go all in on someone at the trade deadline, but it's a conversation that they'll have to have. Yeah, this is kind of like the in-season version of when Teddy's leg almost fell off in 2016, and then the Vikings traded a 1st and a 4th, I believe, for Sam Bradford. Except I don't see any Sam Bradfords available right now. Tay's $2. Trade for Russell Wilson? No. Do they trade for Jameis? Do they trade for Jameis right ahead of playing the Saints? That just for pure comedy value? I mean, go ahead. Yeah. But the Vikings are 4-4, and there are positives to take away. Number 1, Josh Metellus is playing. First off, the Vikings probably have the best safety trio in the NFL with Metellus, Beasley, and Harrison Smith. Greg Phillips, $5. KOC, Kirk Cousins looked like he's blown out Achilles. Hall has to step up. Yes. But let's just wait until we get official word. Who knows? Again, everyone knows what that looked like, but who knows? Miracles happen. Bart Butler, $2. What up? Bort? See, Kirk, TJ Hawkinson. I mean, Hawk had a drop, except he did have a good game overall. 6 for 88 and a touchdown. Addison 7 for 82 on that one score. Just completely cooking the fraud that is and was Jar Alexander. KJ, all he does is catch third down conversions. Led the team in receiving with 99 yards, 8 on 10 targets. I mean, the Vikings got weapons. Like, even without JJ, the Vikings got weapons right now, man. Harrison Phillips had himself a couple big third down stops. Flores, I think, called a fantastic game. 10 points allowed in division in their building, which is great. Packers, no first downs until 4 minutes left in the first half. Daniil had the strip sack. Up there with 10. I don't know how TJ Watt did today, but Daniil's probably leading the league with 10. Ty Chandler had the long-ass kick return that got called back on penalty. That's kind of rough, man. Calvin Bonin. Matt Stafford. I hope the best for Kirko, though. Yeah, except Stafford effed up his thumb today, too. I mean, the Vikings would have to get creative if they did make a move. I don't know. So, I do think that Mekhi Blackman played fantastic today. Had a couple of passes broken up, especially in the red zone. And I think the Vikings and Caleb Evans, even though he had that DPI in the end zone, which is sort of whatever, I do think that the Vikings have a couple of great young corners in Evans and Blackman and Booth. And also, Jonathan Vilma should never be allowed to call a Vikings game ever. Like when Addison got hit in the helmet and then drew the penalty, and Greg and Jonathan Vilma's like, "Oh, I don't know about that." Just so stupid, man. Just so dumb. Sorry if I'm not all bubbly and effervescent right now. I'm just kind of really despondent. Really just really frankly just kind of numb because you feel really terrible for Kirk Cousins. But this is also a next man up league. And, Jaron Hall, Nick Mullins, quarterback TBD. Hopefully not Sean Mannion. Got to step their ass up. Oh. I mean, do we make the call to Tom Brady? Oh, my God. Hold on. I mean, I wouldn't say it's crazy. Hey, if this is how it went down, this would be the stupidest way for a season to play out. The Vikings get Tom Brady's ass off the couch. Because he's a free agent. Although, did they complete his minority ownership deal for the Raiders? Because that would complicate things. But, I mean, if Brady was looking for a perfect spot with weapons, with the offensive line, with a defense that's rising up, with a team that's won 3 games in a row and has all the momentum in the world, I mean, you got to think about it. Kyle Sluter. I actually thought about Kyle Sluter too, except I feel like he's kind of retired, and he's fine with the cutting up film and stuff. Derek Baker, $2. Yes, I could see Tom Brady want to be the hero. I mean, it would be a storybook ending, wouldn't it? I mean, he can't let that 8-9 season with the Bucs like stick in his craw. Plus, he's divorced. It's not like I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's crowdsource some things. Let's drop a couple suggestions for quarterbacks. You can say Jaron Hall too. Who should the Vikings quarterback be the rest of the season? And you could say Brady. You could say Jaron Hall. You could say, I don't know. All right, Tannehill, nah. Heineke, well, Desmond Ridder got benched. Also, he might have gotten hurt too. But Heineke, I think, is going to be the guy in Atlanta. Davis Mills, 9 foot neck, no. Foles, no. Locke, Trey Lance. I mean, they could go ahead and try to flip him. Carson Wentz, oh God, no. Fields, no. Teddy. I wonder if the Lions would trade Teddy in division. God, that would be insane. Except I don't think they would do it at this time. Andrew Luck. I mean, Ryan Grigson is the assistant to the regional GM or consultant. Eric Anderson, $5. Just start Ryan Wright and see what happens. Was a high school quarterback. Kyler Murray. I don't know how that would work cap wise. Because Kyler is due a lot of money going forward. Well, of course, the cap is a myth. Some Dizzy, $5. Skull Baby Diehard Vikings fan from Wisconsin. Had a blast. I got bragging rights for the entire state. In the face. Jay Stenson, $2. So what's up with Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson? I don't know. Greg Phillips, $2. Bring RG3 in. I mean, that would come full circle, wouldn't it? I don't know. But that's it for the post-game show. Sorry, not our usual selves. Really kind of bummed out about the Kirk injury. Also really bummed out about the Adam Johnson thing, too. Yeah, just kind of bummed all the way around. Anyways, you guys are the best. We'll do winners and losers here in a hot second, too. But until next time, Skull, production value.